as Catholics, as Christians, and as human beings, it is really important for us to set these healthy boundaries. Like, we have to be able to say no. We can't say yes to everything. Why? Because we can't do everything. So when I was in college, I would have a few friends who would ask if they could borrow my stuff once in a while. I forget what it was exactly. I think it was like my PS3 at the time, or certain movies, or just certain things like laying around my room that friends would come over and be like, "Oh, dude, this is so cool. Can I borrow this for a little bit?" And in college, I was practicing my faith. I was working in youth ministry, and I was studying for my master's in psychology. And I remember I had this tension in saying yes. Like, I would say yes, and then they would take my stuff, and sometimes I would get it back, sometimes it wouldn't. I remember one time I was at our parish church carnival, and one of my friends asked me for my sunglasses, and I'm standing out in the sun, and he's like, "Hey dude, can I borrow your sunglasses for a little bit?" And I was like, "Yes," and I gave him my sunglasses, and I immediately regretted that, and I just didn't know why I said yes, really. And I think for a lot of Catholics, a lot of Christians, we have this idea that to be a good Christian means that you need to always be helping somebody and say yes to them, right? And service, helping others, always a good thing. But should we always say yes, right? For me, looking back, I'm like, that's ridiculous, right? If somebody wants to borrow your stuff, but you need that stuff, you shouldn't say yes, right? If you have excess, right? If you don't need something, yeah, I mean, sure. But we don't always have to say yes. Working at a parish, I've also experienced a lot of people who say, "Hey, Adam, this person needs help at their home with this project. Could you do this? Could you do that?" And over the years, I really had to learn how to say no. Right? It was super tempting. Like, "Oh yeah, I want to help these people. I want to help this older lady at our parish. I want to help this family in need." But I can't do everything. So as Catholics, as Christians, and as human beings, it is really important for us to set these healthy boundaries. Like, we have to be able to say no. We can't say yes to everything. Why? Because we can't do everything. And ultimately, we're not God. We're not Jesus. We can't save and help every single person, right? So we have to say yes to what we can say yes to, right? We have to say no what we have to say no to, right? That sounds simple. It might sound stupid, but it's true. So when I gave my friend my sunglasses, even though I was standing in the sun and getting sunburnt, because I get sunburnt really easily, I started getting kind of angry at my friend. Like, why would you ask me for my sunglasses, right? Like, why would you take that away from me? In all reality, I could have said no, right? Like, the whole problem, all that resentment would have never existed if I had just said no, right? So when we say yes to everything, what happens, right? We get overcommitted, and we get tired, and we probably get angry. And we take that anger out on other people, right? And it's going to be really easy to be passive aggressive because you've said yes to a bunch of things that maybe you didn't want to do. So psychologically, you're saying yes, but you know that you probably shouldn't be doing those things and that you don't want them. So being able to say no takes anger and resentment out of that equation, right? The honest, assertive approach psychologically is going to be so much healthier for you because you're at peace of mind and you're at peace really with yourself and others. Letting our yes mean yes and our no mean no, as it says in scripture, is assertiveness, right? And I define assertiveness as expressing your needs with respect and love, right? It's that simple. Passiveness is when you say yes, but you really mean no, right? Passive aggressiveness is when you say yes, and then you say no, and you're angry about it for the next 3 days, right? Aggressiveness is when you say no, and you yell it at them in their face. But assertiveness is this healthy, perfect combination of respecting your own needs, respecting your own desires, right? And your own boundaries. What's healthy for you, right? And expressing that to the other person. There's nothing wrong with that at all. If you have to say no to something, you can say no. Sometimes that means honestly taking something to prayer. Like, should I do this? Right? Does God want me to do this for this person? To say no means to say yes to maybe a better plan or a better idea for him. And oftentimes Christ is calling us to say no to a smaller, maybe not so great plan in order to say yes to something better. And in that way, Christ is calling us in some ways to be less focused on what we can do, be more focused on what he can do, and maybe how other people can help and say yes in an even greater way.